going to try something. Can you folks in the back hear me if I talk like this?
Yep.
Yes, is that good? Okay, great. You are a fantastic audience. You don't need any practice at it, but I would like to give you the chance to do a little rehearsing, because performers rehearse. Audiences rarely get the chance to rehearse. So I'm going to give you a very simple exercise that you can practice now. You can take it with you wherever you go, and this is how you do it. I'd like you all to just hold up your hands, just like this. It's very simple. When I clap, you clap. If I don't clap, you don't clap. Make sense? It's easy, okay? Watch like this. Ready? Okay, I'm going to explain it one more time. Apparently some folks didn't get it. If I don't clap, you don't clap, okay? So let's try it one more time. Ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, never mind. You did it. Good for you. Okay, then you've passed. You can, take that with you to the next show. I am going to tell you a Dr. Suess story. Before I tell you the story, I just want to share this information with you. I can't sing, so be glad I'm not singing here tonight. I did take belly dancing lessons, but you can be glad I'm not doing that either. But because I couldn't sing, I had to learn to do something else. So I started memorizing Dr. Suess stories, and I would tell them at summer camps and when I traveled, and I would share these stories with people. And I would always say to people, this is one of America's greatest storytellers and philosophers, but he's dead. And I was overseas, and I picked up a local newspaper, and there was a story about Dr. Suess, and he was alive and living in La Jolla, California. I was so excited that I sat down and I wrote him a letter, and I said, I love your stories, I tell them, I would have written you sooner, but I thought that you were dead. Well, I came home months later, and I got a letter from Dr. Suess, and he reassured me that, in fact, he wasn't dead. He was also glad that he wasn't dead, and he thanked me for writing him and telling him how much I enjoyed his stories. So, without more ado, I'm going to share with you the story of the green pants. You know that one? Well, it goes like this. I was walking in the night, and I saw nothing scary, for I have never been afraid of anything. Well, not very. I was deep within the woods, when suddenly I spied them. I saw a pair of pale green pants with nobody inside them. I wasn't scared, but yet I stopped. What could those pants be there for? What could a pair of pants be standing in the air for? And then they moved, those empty pants. They kind of started jumping, and then my heart, well, I must admit, it kind of started thumping. So I got out fast as I could go. I wasn't scared, but pants like that I did not care for, no. Well, after that, a week went by, and one dark night in Greenwich, you see, I had to do an errand there and fetch some Greenwich spinach. Well, I had fetched the spinach, and I was heading back through town when those pants raced around the corner, and they almost knocked me down. How? I dropped my Greenwich spinach, but I didn't even care. I ran for home. Believe me, I had really had a scare. Now, bicycles were never made for pale green pants to ride them, especially spooky pale green pants with nobody inside them. And then, well, the next night, I was fishing for trout on River River when those pants came rowing towards me, and I started to shiver, and by now I was so frightened that I'll tell you, oh, I hate to. I screamed and rode away and lost my hook and line and bait too. I ran and found a brittle bush, hid myself away. I got brickles in my britches, but I stayed there anyway. I stayed all night. And the next night too, and well, I'd still be there, no doubt, but I had to do an errand, so the next night I went out. I had to do an errand. I had to pick a peck of snide in a dark and gloomy snide field that was almost 9 miles wide. I said, I do not fear these pants with nobody inside them. I said and said and said those words. I said them, but I lied them. And then I reached inside a snide bush, and the next thing that I knew, I felt my hand touch someone, and I bet that you know who. And there I was, caught in the snide, and in that dreadful place, those spooky empty pants and I were standing face to face. I yelled strange thing happened. Those pants began to cry. Those pants began to tremble. You see, they were just as scared as I, and I'd never heard such whimpering, and well, I began to see that I was just as strange to them as they were strange to me. I put my arm around their waist. I sat right down beside them. I calmed them down. Poor empty pants with nobody inside them. And now we meet quite often, those empty pants and I, and we never shake or tremble. We just smile and we say,